all mad risky to let him down.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Peyton, indie author and literary troublemaker.
And I'm Mel, your unapologetic fan of horror, smut, and anything that combines the two.
Each week, or every other week at this point, we read unhinged novels and then convince each other to read them, and we force you to come along.
Yep. And hopefully, we answer the question that bothers every reader.
What the
What the
fuck were we
fuck were we
thinking?
thanking?
Hey, Mel, you like my new set?
I love your new set. I think it's so perfectly you.
Thanks.
It's got just the dark colors that I associate with your normal office space
hmm
and the books and all of it. And the light in the back. I
I
love that.
I stole this one from Tom,
As you
and,
should.
and then I bought that one. But I also have all my favorite novels are in here, and all of my novels are behind me. So I'm in, what did you call it? You didn't call it a closet the other day. Or you were it's a studio space now,
It's
basically.
a studio
Yeah.
space.
So
Yeah.
I like it. It's nice. I feel less like I'm in a closet now. I do feel like I'm in a studio space. We got
Mhm.
rid of the shelving of the closet space, and I putting these bookshelves together was a nightmare.
I bet you're in a
And
closet.
and then they sent me two more bookshelves.
Oh,
And we're like, I don't know what to do with these.
so
So
you just got free bookshelves?
and the
Oh,
couple just keep them, which is good because I'm pretty sure you can't tell it, but these are arched up top. Let me see if I can adjust the
hmm.
camera. So,
Oh,
and one of them, I broke the arch part.
oh.
And so it's honestly just a piece of black fabric to cover the arch. Now you guys know my deep dark secrets. And they did send me new bookshelves, so I could just replace it, but that's a lot of work. And
That's
anytime I studied interior design at Savannah College of Art and Design. And so anytime I do any interior designing with my library and everything, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to measuring. So there's literally half an inch on either side of my bookshelves.
oh wow.
So I think I spent like a month trying to find the exact bookshelves that I needed for this weird sized closet. But
Well,
I
you,
did.
you did it, and they look amazing.
And we match again. I'm so excited. I'm glad we match again.
I'm glad that we match again too.
It's nice. I was in the library and then obviously I started my online business and it has literally taken up three-fourths of the library because it's grown. I packed like 12 boxes today,
Wow.
which is great. I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely, but the inventory has gotten over everything except for half of one side. And so having these bookshelves in here has really helped
Hmm.
spread the books back out.
And it gives you a dedicated free space from all of that stuff too, right? It's gotta feel nice.
Absolutely. So I really like it.
Good.
So
I love it. I'm absolutely obsessed.
thank you. It looks good on camera. So that's
It does look good on camera. It looks
um,
very good.
so how have you been?
I've been chugging along. We went for a walk today and it was kind of wild. So there's a lot of police officers that live in our neighborhood. So we see
Oh.
parked cars all the time
hmm
and you start to recognize them.
hmm
And we saw as we were out for our walk, we saw a police car that we haven't seen before.
Oh.
Yep. And so we're smoking and we're trying to be discreet. And so we walk across the street. We're standing on top of this hill and we're starting to light up. And the officer comes down from the building he was in and he starts calling to us. And so we didn't get in trouble. We thought we were going to for a second be told to put it out and move
hmm
on. But it's recreational here now. So he didn't care and he was like, "Do you guys live in the neighborhood?" And we were like, he's like, "I'm reporting to a call about gunshots. Have you heard anything?" And we were like, "No, we haven't." But we also weren't listening for it. So that happened today.
It's crazy. And the funny thing is you live in the New England area. So you live like
Mhm.
far up north. Down here, we hear gunshots every night. Like I live in the country in the South. Like gunshots, police would not even show up to
See,
report for gunshots.
yeah, you hear gunshots in Baltimore, which is where I am.
Yeah,
Crime has gone down here significantly, like a lot. It still happens.
mhm,
The major city, right? It's a very
yeah,
populated area. You put that many people on top of each other, and something's going to happen eventually.
mhm,
Not uncommon for us to hear gunshots, or people like to light firecrackers out here where
yeah,
we are because
yeah,
we're out in the county. People will like come in their driveways and light them off and things, and they sound like gunshots. And so it's just a lot of like, don't listen for that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Then I'm gonna start to overthink it and
yeah.
that every single sound is a gunshot, and it's not.
Yeah, I think on Christmas there's a house right up the street from us that every for the entire month of December and even some in January, they set a fire. Like the whole like display, they do lights, all sorts of things. Like people come across the county to look for it.
Oh
And it's
wow.
really cute, but like you can hear fireworks like at Saturday night at 9 o'clock. You're hearing the fireworks. And I remember like I always joke that anytime it's like any holiday that could possibly have fireworks attached to it, like hear fireworks for like days leading up and then even up to like a week afterwards. Like people just like, I'm gonna get rid of my fireworks. Let's go shoot them off. And
Yeah.
so like I think like last New Year's, I think we heard it up to like a week after. And like I were like, if anyone wanted to like someone in the middle of nowhere,
This would be the place to
plenty
do it.
this is the perfect place to do it during a holiday when people are shooting off fireworks nonstop all the time because we just assume it's fireworks.
Right.
Like I said, a cop is not going to show up because it's perfectly legal to practice shooting on your property as long as you're not like in a subdivision.
Mm-hmm. That
Like,
fair.
yeah, our subdivision is surrounded completely by nothing, just woods everywhere on all sides. And so, like, houses that don't have to adhere to those rules completely surrounding us. So, yeah, I would have probably just laughed at the cop and been like, nope. Even if I like moved up there, I'd be like, why are you asking me this? I'm a Southerner.
Yeah.
I've a child age
You've just
have
constantly been
learned.
around that.
Yeah, I don't even hear it anymore.
Yeah. Wild. The kind of thing that we can get desensitized to.
Right?
And it's terrifying. But it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
This is, I guess, maybe off topic, but talking about being desensitized to stuff. There's a show called My Crazy Ex-Boyfriend or something like that. Anyways, Wade Wilson is one of the ones in it. And they interview Wade Wilson is right.
No.
Wade Wilson's the guy that TikTok went crazy about. He killed two women in the span of 24 hours, was in jail, but he's attractive and had tattoos all over his face, so there was billions of thirst traps about him on TikTok.
Do
He's
you think he's attractive?
no, I don't think he's attractive.
Cool.
Um,
Because I was really concerned for a
no, no,
second.
no,
This
no.
guy is not.
No, he's not attractive. You can see photos of him 10, 15 years ago, maybe, and he was like, okay. But even
He
then,
wrecked his face with all of these tattoos.
and he got
And
most of those in jail.
his eyes are, there is
Dead.
something hollow about his eyes.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not.
He's known as the Deadpool killer because Wade Wilson obviously is the name of Deadpool. So Deadpool's name. But people went crazy over it. And I think it's interesting because Tom and I had a conversation about all the book talk girlies went crazy. Oh, he's so cute and was comparing them to Haunting Adeline and all this other stuff. And it was like, people, you had to get online and remind people this guy fucking killed two women. One of the women, he said that he ran over and he turned her, quote unquote, into spaghetti. Like that, you can hear him talk about that. And it's, I don't know, just it's weird to me because it's like all this social media, thirst trapping, all this other kind of stuff. You can, I think people get delusional and they get desensitized to the fact being that this guy's a murderer.
I think that happens
And
all
you're
the
blessing him.
time.
I know, right?
Well, because it's not even just that. It's some of these women, we talk about mental health and being careful all the time, especially
Mhm.
with dark romance. We like these men because of what they provide, right? The safety and the actual protection and the respect and all of that. But they are walking red flags. And
Yeah.
because we like what we see underneath, what traits that we want to
Hmm.
see, we associate them with that inherently not good person.
Right.
And I don't think there's enough discussion about that.
I
And
agree.
and so that then translates into real life. And it's like, no, leave the red flags in the book, honey.
Hmm.
Get everything else, but leave the red flags in the book.
Right. And I think one of the reasons why I brought it up was just watching this episode and seeing, I think they interviewed at least two of his girlfriends. And they were constantly talking about, oh, this is a red flag. But then I think one of them was like, how do you walk away from someone who's bawling their eyes out and love bombing you and saying that they're so sorry and that this was the worst mistake of their life? And this was all before, obviously, he murdered anybody, but he did steal a bunch of shit. He convinced one girl to turn herself in for a crime that he committed because he didn't want to go to jail. And she did it.
I love women, but sometimes we can be really stupid.
And I know I try to remind myself there's equally stupid men out there, but I think a lot of times we get so caught up with wanting to be loved that we forget the red flags a lot of times. And it's so interesting how someone who is a narcissist, like Wade Wilson, or anyone else, even when it comes to family, the manipulation happens
Yeah,
slowly over time. And then all of a sudden you're neck deep, barely able to keep your head above the water, and then you don't even know how you got there.
you're a frog in a pot of water.
Absolutely. So, sorry, that was a
Um,
little tangent, but just talking about desensitization, it's
yeah.
everywhere and it's crazy to me. I remember
Hmm.
my students thirsting over this guy.
Well, so on a different desensitization note, Roblox
Mhm.
lets you play as the shooter in Sandy Hook. They have a simulation for that.
You're kidding.
Dead ass. And so we're just saying that that's okay, right? And it's not. And they're actively trying to desensitize us to
Hmm.
certain things too. I am
Absolutely.
100% behind that theory. Like, it's just wild.
Manipulation is a hell of a lot easier than it should be.
Yeah,
And the wrong hands, it's deadly. So, yeah. Sorry, that was a weird tangent. Sorry, guys. Maybe that can be Cliff Notes or
it's intense.
something. That was pretty intense.
It's fine.
Like, I feel like I need a drink now.
Um, I can recommend one. We're not sponsored, but Canada Dry, if you would like to sponsor us.
Oh, I love those. Yeah,
They're
Canada Dry is the best.
delicious.
Yeah.
The
Hmm.
cherry fruit splash, it's so good. We were drinking, so I really can't do soda, but we like to sometimes keep it in the house when I'm having energy issues. And I've been having a lot of fatigue recently, so just having some sugar around. Normally we do the cherry lime Sprite. Um, I think I'm switching to these.
I'm gonna be
Really
honest,
good.
anytime Canada Dry is like option for me, I'm taking it.
I
100% all the time.
I'm a Schweppes girly.
Really, that's funny. Um, like Schweppes for sure. There's another brand that Tom is really obsessed with, and it's so gingery, it's painful to drink. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Is it just ginger beer?
No, but it kind of tastes no, like beer's sweeter than this.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's
look for it.
wild. Because I feel like ginger beer is pretty bitter.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even see this popping up as like a top brand. I feel like it's got something to do with it.
Dog?
Yeah, I'd be going crazy, girl. There was like one brand at one point that he was drinking all the time, and literally I was like, "Why aren't you drinking the ginger ale?" And I was like, "Dude, I can't handle it. It burns too hard."
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I come across it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I kind of can't see it, but Seagram's is pretty good.
I do like Seagram's. Canada Dry is just too dry for me usually, but I've growing out of wanting really sweet things, I think, most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I started to prefer like chocolate or 60% to like chocolate. I still love milk chocolate. It's what I
Mhm.
gravitate
Yeah.
towards, but it can often be too much. And
Honestly,
so,
I love the dark chocolate. I don't like a lot of sweet stuff. I do like the mature kind of stuff. It's Dr. Brown's, I think.
oh, I like their cream soda.
I don't think I've ever had their cream soda.
Dr. Brown's cream soda is pretty good. I haven't
Cool.
had their ginger ale though.
Pretty sure it's Dr. Brown's. I don't know why I thought there was a dog attached to this.
I don't know. God, I still have the picture of Wade Wilson up, and he's got a swastika on his face.
Yeah. All happened when he got to jail. I think like when he originally like he had tattoos everywhere, but like
Sad they didn't get infected.
yeah.
It's a
Say
horrible thing to say.
no, I will say I don't know if he's like dead yet. He got the death sentence. But I'll say like the
Oh,
last photos I saw of him was like he was like chunky. I
okay.
thought that was like the Carmel.
Yeah, sure. He is not yet dead.
Yeah, I feel like there would be like more of a to do, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's like and then there's like weird website where you can listen to phone calls from prison.
Oh,
I've not went to that website, but I have to a few podcasts that kind of clips from him and his like because he got a fiance because women are fucking crazy and didn't give a shit that he murdered women.
as long as it wasn't her, I guess.
Yeah, he would never do that to her.
No, she's different.
Right. Anyway,
Anyways, not even close to what we're
no,
talking about tonight.
so sorry.
Look, I brought us full circle there for a second. Um, I'm keeping my promise this week. We're gonna talk about some poetry today. Um, a little bit of Mel lore here. First real interest in poetry happened when I was in like sixth grade. I had an English teacher. Her name was Miss Wong, who I can only describe her as a hopeless romantic. Is super into Twilight and the love triangle aspect and yeah, word. And she was into a lot of Shakespeare and there was a lot of Shakespeare stuff in her room. And so it was just like, that teacher. I was exposed to it in that class, and the after they stopped having the scholastic fair as like a physical book fair,
Yeah.
they were giving you like the paper flyers, and then you would give the money to your teacher with your like filled out, and they would order the books and then ship them to the school, and the teacher would pass them out. In that catalog, there was a Juliet copy, and then there was a love poems book or collection. So those were the two things that I got. Oh, and I also got Wuthering Heights.
Oh wow,
So
really?
the for the three things that I got.
Okay.
Read them all in sixth grade, so I definitely did not understand what I was reading.
Definitely not with Wuthering Heights at least.
Right. Um, I read Wuthering Heights on a family vacation.
Really?
Yeah. And I think the only reason that I was allowed to read it was because my parents knew that there was no way I was going to understand what was happening.
Right.
Um, so I was into poetry for a little while after that. I read the Love Poetry book, and that was the only poetry that I was into. I had really famous Shakespeare sonnet. Can't remember what it's called, but it's one that, or shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
Okay.
I had that memorized in sixth grade. Could I recite it now? No, but I was going around like it was a trophy.
I had a Shakespeare scene memorized since sixth grade. It was
Which one?
Puck's final like for Midsummer Night's Dream.
Okay.
We spirits have offended.
Yeah.
with this and all was mended.
God, I haven't read that book. That was seventh grade um reading for us.
Really? That's
Yeah.
easy.
Yep.
I don't think I had to read it until college. Yeah, the Twelfth Night was my favorite Shakespeare.
I haven't read that much Shakespeare. I've read Midsummer Night's Dream, Romeo and Juliet, read Hamlet, and then I've gone through a lot of his like stuff. Actually have a copy. You can't see it because it's like up there on the very top. But I have a leather-bound copy of all of Shakespeare's work now, so maybe it's a good opportunity
Yeah.
for me to read more of his stuff.
I feel like as an adult, I would appreciate him a lot more. I didn't
Yeah,
necessarily appreciate, like, I really got into him in college, but really giving him much effort after college, I guess.
that's fair. I mean, still a lot mentally to have to like, and
Yeah,
even though a lot of it is the same, some of it, deciphering it is about context clues, and because Old English is
yeah, yeah.
it's still a lot mentally to sit down and read Shakespeare, even if you would appreciate him more
Mhm.
now. You know?
Couple years back, me and a girlfriend of mine we have something called the Shakespeare Tavern here in downtown Atlanta. It's a play that literally is the interior is designed to look exactly like Shakespeare's Tavern.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, really kind of, but they only do Shakespearean plays. We went and saw Romeo and Juliet, and I was not looking forward to seeing Romeo and Juliet. Of all the plays, to finally go to Shakespeare's Tavern because it's my first time going, we had to watch Romeo and Juliet. Um, it was brilliant, and it made me fall in love with it all over again because they did what they should have always done. They had two high school kids pretend like they were high school kids. Like
So that's perfect.
12 and he's like or something like that.
I think he's older.
He's older, like maybe, but she's like young. I don't think she's older than 14. But they acted like kids. And it was very
Yeah.
interesting to like it where people aren't trying to make the two of them seem older than they are.
Yeah. Gotta be refreshing because yeah, is 13, almost 14. And while Romeo's age is never explicitly stated, somewhere or interpreted to be somewhere between 16 and 18.
Yeah. Means to put in our perspective, that is an 11th grader or 12th grader hooking up with an 8th grader. Let you have that in
More
perspective.
than an eighth grader at 16.
Well, she is,
I flipped those around like a
yeah,
goofball.
yeah,
Yep, you're right. An
yeah.
11th grader with an eighth grader.
Hmm.
Yep.
And that's if we take the conservative ages. Yeah. She's 13 going on 14. Yeah, 8th grade.
Yeah. Gross.
It's disgusting. So, yeah, that was perfectly normal during those times.
Kids
So,
grew up fast back then.
yeah, literally adults at that point.
Yeah. Ew. A.
Right.
And
Shit, when you're an adult as an 18-year-old
uh
for
is too
hundreds of
young.
years, right?
Like,
I talk to like year olds and I'm like, how are you alive? Like,
yeah.
legit, are you not dead?
Sometimes I wonder about that or wonder that about myself.
Me too.
Like, honestly, and I'm almost 30, so um
I am so old. I like then like sit around and I'm like, when did I become an adult? And why do I have a kid?
right. And well, minus the kid part. But like, when did the adulthood happen? Who
Yeah,
gave me grown-up
give me permission.
responsibilities?
Right. Do it.
Like, I don't want to.
Mm,
Part of the adulting is reading fun literature like poetry.
that is true.
Um, so my had a on-off relationship with poetry throughout high school and college. Um, had a professor in college. I can't remember his name. He was very he had a big ego. He was very egocentric, but he was a younger dude. He was like his 30s. So he was one of those egocentric, weird poetry professors that's like about themselves.
Mhm.
He introduced me to a couple of good poetry books. One of them is called Life on Mars. I couldn't tell you what that one's about. I just remember that it was good. And then the other one was called Crush. And Crush is like a coming out story, basically. The author and him developing a crush on a guy and, whole thing. So that one really resonated with me. Um, a few years after college, I was in the Curious Iguana, which is my favorite small independent bookstore in Frederick. Um, I found a poet. I was looking for the same author who wrote Crush to see if there was anything that he had written. Couldn't find him, but I found poet Courtney Peppernell. I don't know if you've heard of her before.
I don't think so.
Okay. She's an internationally best-selling author. She has, by my count, roughly 15 books,
Okay.
including a couple of novels. Haven't read them, but she has written Keeping Long Island, Chasing Paper Cranes, and her third novel, which is her newest one and was released actually back in March, is called The Last Poet. So her three novels. And then she's got basically the rest of it is poetry. And also does like self-love journals that she posts on her website. She also has an affirmation deck that she based off of my favorite set of collections from her, which is what we're talking about tonight.
Okay.
Collection of 4 books. They were all published by Andrews McMeel Publishing. I really hope I wrote that down right, and that's not supposed to be McNeil. I guess I could just look inside the book in a second.
No, I think it's right.
And each book starts with a short poem about a jellyfish named You. And the intro poem for each book gives you clues as to the journey that you're going to be undertaking in that particular book in the collection. Some of themes that go through all 4 books include like love, mindfulness, and the collection is the Pillow Thoughts collection. And there's our little jellyfish friend, You, other
Yeah.
way.
So
Yeah. To start by reading the first intro for Pillow Thoughts. Um, Sorry, I hope you don't mind. Thank you. Before we begin, I'd like to share a story. Once upon a time, there was a jellyfish. We'll call it You. You became lost sometimes. You could be a little unsure. You tried very hard, but sometimes it didn't feel like enough. I hate to spoil the ending, but You is fine. You is still here. You is going to make it. So it was, like I was kind of earlier, my first real foray back into poetry after college. I really burnt out at the time, as academically. And it had been a couple of years, and I had tried to get back into reading with like autobiographies, musicians that I liked, or, you know, tried all sorts of books and I couldn't get through anything. So I finally decided to try poetry again. It's why I went searching in the Curious Iguana, because you can read a couple of pages, put it down, and if you don't come back to it for a month, it's not devastating to the flow of the book, right? I picked this up. I can't remember what year it was, but it was definitely well after it was published, which was 2017. The illustration on the front, the little jellyfish guy, was done by Ryan Gerber. This Particular collection runs the gambit of topics. It talks about a little bit of everything that the other books talk about. They just go more in depth on specific topics. So again, we've got loyalty, love, admiration, thoughts about loneliness, healing from betrayal, things of that nature. I actually found some of these poems in here to be so interesting and raw that I left little sticky notes to myself talking about, if I can get the book into the camera, talking about the themes that I noticed being brought up and the emotions. They resonate, which I thought was really nice. Sometimes you pick up a poetry collection and you're like, I can't relate to this. It doesn't
Yeah.
spark anything in me. Milk and Honey, for example, was one that I read, and I have a lot of respect for the author. I think she writes very well and very brilliantly, but I did not personally like the collection because I couldn't connect with it. I think Pillow Thoughts does a good job of bridging that gap, and I think anyone can find material in these books that resonates with them, which is nice. The first book, as I've touched on, acknowledges pain and just general themes, but it also has poems that are completely just words of kindness and poems of affirmation. And if that's not enough to get you to read it, the Chainsmokers read it and reviewed it, so that was fun.
Interesting.
They wrote, as songwriters, poetry has always played a special role in our lives. We discovered Pillow Thoughts, and it has been one of the most enjoyable books we have read in a long time.
That's cool.
So that's the first book in the collection. Short of sitting here and reading the poems to you, which I think defeats the purpose of convincing you to read
Right.
it, we're gonna just scoot on over to the next one. Pillow Thoughts 2, Healing the Heart. Now he's got a little heart that he's hugging. So Yu's journey continues in this one. And before we begin, I'd like to remind you of a story. Once upon a time, there was a jellyfish called Yu. You had been lost. You had been a little unsure. You tried very hard and you began to heal. Now, you must remind others that sometimes hearts ache. I hate to spoil the ending, but you can heal hearts. So again, the cover on this one was illustrated by Ryan Gerber. It was published a year after the first one, so 2018. It was either this one or the third one in the collection that I couldn't find in stores anywhere. And another shameless plug for Curious Iguana, they actually ordered it for me.
That's nice.
Yep. And so they held it in store until I could come pick it up. So that was really cool of them. This second book in the collection, as we touched on with Yu's intro, is really diving deep into the matters of the heart. So breakups, finding love, heartache, loneliness, missing someone, even if they're not good for you, missing them, healing from them, trying to get to the other side of heartbreak. And with some of that comes self-acceptance, learning to love yourself is a theme in this book. So it's a nice follow-up to the first one. I don't know, there's not really much to say without spoiling the entire thing.
Right.
Again,
Yeah, there's a progression where it's almost like a healing type of progression.
this entire collection is about healing something.
Mhm.
So the third one is mending the mind. And we've got a little owl because wisdom, we think of.
Cute.
And so this one was published in 2019. Again, illustrated by Ryan Gerber. I keep saying his name because the fourth one was illustrated by somebody else. Why they decided to go with someone else, I couldn't tell you. But they did. And then this poetry collection really focuses on mental health, which I thought fitting coming off of May, which was Mental Health Awareness Month. Definitely sorry that we missed the boat on that one. I didn't know either until I drove past my gym and they've got a electric sign that
Hmm.
they can program to say different things. And one day I was driving by and it said, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I was like, well, shit.
I was unbelievably aware of my mental health during May. It was not good,
Well,
but I survived.
one day at a time. Survival is all we can ask for in
And
this day
I've
and
definitely
age.
had worse.
That's definitely one silver lining sometimes when
Yeah.
you're going through a really rough patch. You can look at it and be
Mhm.
like, yeah, this isn't the worst thing that I've
Yeah,
been through. So, whatever this is, I can definitely make it to the other side.
right. This is not my rock bottom. This is nowhere close.
So, this one is all about healing the mind. Talks a lot about daydreaming. Sometimes it almost feels maladaptive,
Hmm.
like you're trying to escape something. Lingering thoughts, both good and bad. Talks about depression, longing for things that aren't yours, but also things like accepting and loving what you do have, not always needing to search for the greener grass on the other side of the fence. Being patient with yourself and having patience in general talks a lot about that. Gentle persistence.
I
So,
think, sorry, I feel like both of those are so monumentally huge
mhm.
that when healing, especially with mental health, you have to be patient with yourself.
I think a lot of people go into therapy thinking that it's going to be just a couple of sessions or just a couple of months or whatever, and then they're going to be fine. And you get in there and you realize, oh, I'm never getting out of this.
Right.
Like, and but it's that impatience that we all innately have where we just want things to be done and be fixed. And that's not how the mind works. It's not how the body works. It's not how anything works. I think part of that too has to do with our shortening attention spans, thanks to media,
Yeah, definitely.
but it's fine. It's casual. But so it talks about gentle persistence in the way of like, even if you just get up and do one thing today, you still did that one thing.
Hmm.
And then tomorrow you can try for two things. And just getting up and keep pushing through, even if it's small steps. It talks a lot about change too, both the good and the bad, and how rewarding and difficult it can be mentally. So there's a lot of themes in Mending the Mind. I found that it had the most diverse grouping of themes, even if they were all related. Because there's a lot more that you can talk about in terms of healing the mind than healing the heart.
I feel like everyone's brains are mapped out a little differently too. We can all relate to heart and we can
Yeah.
all relate to the other stuff, but you have to figure out how someone's brain works in order to know how to heal it. And so I can see it needing to be a bit more diverse.
No, it's definitely on the more diverse side. And I think you hit the nail right on the head too with your explanation. Definitely, this was an interesting read because I was really starting my mental health journey when I was
Hmm.
reading this one. And so I resonated with it a lot. The heart one too, but not as much as the mind one. And then, last but not least, after you unbreak the heart and fix the mind, you've got to stitch the soul.
Why did they
Um,
make it different? And you can tell too.
yep, you can tell it is a different author. So this one was illustrated by Justin Estcourt. Sorry, author, different illustrator.
There's a story there, and I need to know what the story is. Because it's
The other guy is Ryan Gerber. I did not look it up because I was scared that I was going to get so in the weeds. I spent probably an hour researching Courtney as it was, but you can definitely tell the difference in the artists. It's kind
right.
of ridiculous. Are you digging up anything good?
I think it's gonna take me a while to figure out. There's a lot of Ryan Gerbers.
That's fair. It sounds like a very white person name. So, Stitching the Soul was published in 2020. So, I'm sure it was written and all of that before 2020, but 2020 was a great time period to stitch the soul and find yourself, which is one of the bigger themes of the book is finding your inner spark, what empowers you, what gives you drive. So that was very different from the other books. The other books feel very gentle and they're encouraging and there's affirmation and all of that. But this book felt very like, instead of gentle, it felt more like a cheerleader at a sports game. You can do it. You got this. And not in a bad way. I know that
Right.
that comes across weird, but there's more energy, I guess, what I'm trying to say. This book kind of mimics the first in that it's a bigger summary of the middle two books, just a little bit more pinpointed than the first one. So there's themes of depression and sadness, a little bit of abuse, recovery from the abuse. It also
I
looks, go ahead.
sorry. I Nikita Gill, which is the poet that I absolutely love. She did a book about growing up and dealing with some kind of abuse and stuff like that. And I feel like at the time when I started reading the book, I didn't connect with it because I was still fighting the knowledge that I grew up abused. And it felt very uncomfortable to read about someone going through things that she was calling abuse that I was like, oh God, I feel you, girl. And then it's like, no, 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 I wasn't abused. What? So I feel like it's weird with poetry because taking as few words as you possibly can and then being, I don't know, to be able to do that.
It is hard. It's not something that I feel I've really accomplished in my poetry. Part of my college poetry class was writing poems, and I was not good at it.
I was
Luckily,
terrible at writing poetry.
so hard. It's
It
really
is.
hard. And I'm lucky that aside from the midterm and the final exam, that teacher was pretty much doing that class by pass fail. And so if you turned in your assignments, you passed the assignment because you did it. And poetry is subjective, right?
Right.
So that was his whole thing. But I have a lot of respect. R.H. Sin is another really good poet that I like. And he talks a lot about women empowerment and women finding themselves. And
Mm.
I don't connect with all of his work, but there's some really good stuff that he does that I loved. Actually, I think I have it just out of reach. But so this one does talk about abuse. It's less so parental abuse and more so relationship abuse, which could be parental, but it's very hard to tell which way Courtney is swinging with that. For me, it feels more like relationship and like partner trauma, but I could be wrong. And then there's also a lot about growth, self-growth, and rebuilding yourself. And it alternates between having a couple of good poems where you feel like or the character is really growing, and then there will be a setback poem
Mhm.
almost. And so this slow chugging along, and there's more negative poems at the start and then more positive ones at the end. And there's still bad ones and good ones intermingled on both ends, but it's almost like you're going through that healing journey with the character because there's fewer and fewer negative poems the further back you get into the collection. And they're all set up like that, which I thought was really cool. So, the conclusion of the day, these books are very healing. I have read these during some of my hardest times. So I've gone back to them when I first got diagnosed with Crohn's disease and I was going through the initial start of treatment and all of that. And there's a lot of negative that you can relate to, but there's also a lot of words of affirmation that are hard to ask for
Mm-hmm.
and Courtney just gives them to you. And even though she doesn't know you, she makes you feel seen with her poetry.
That's good.
So I definitely think that they're more than worth a read. I said
Right.
earlier that, and I really believe it. I think anyone could open up any book in this collection and find something that resonates with them. And to close off my TED Talk today, I am going to read a selection from the fourth one. It's about understanding you are not a burden. You are made up of thoughts and feelings and skin that sometimes scars and bones that sometimes ache. You live through journeys by forgiving yourself for your mistakes. You become a better you when you accept rawness and honesty and reject any thoughts that you are a monstrosity. And with that, I ask, how do you feel about Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Peppernell?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna read it. I think it's a journey, and I think it's something that I think when I go through my ebb and flows of life, it'd be nice to have something that I can just pick up and read and realize that I'm not alone. So I'm definitely down. I'm gonna read it. Thanks for sharing it.
Of
I love it.
course.
Poetry's the older I get, the more I realize I really love poetry. I think Nikita Gill was the first one that I really liked with hers, and she's very witchy, very stardust and air and breath, and you feel insignificant, but you're not. Like, I don't know, it just really puts things into a cosmic perspective, I guess. And I really liked that because she was the first person that I felt like viewed life the way that I did. So, I don't know, poetry kind of hits a little hard, and it's nice to have another poet on the list that I can like, check out. I know I have, here's a poet, a little skeleton though. The White Book, a Han Kang. I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I read this, but she grew up, I don't want to say Korea, but I'm not positive. But every poem is about her life. It's Korean, but it's all about the whiteness of it. So all the memories that she had of things that wound up being white, and it's interesting how many things in your life, I don't know, it was something that really just put in perspective to me how many things in my life are brought about with the illusionment of purity and starting over and cleansing.
Yeah,
And so it's interesting poetry, I feel like really outside of regular novels and stuff like that, it changes the way you think. It like
100%.
it rewrites your brain chemistry almost. So when you're diving in, you're not just thinking about how is this person seeing the world, but how can I see the world like this person?
It's a new perspective.
Yes. So I'm definitely interested in reading it.
Good.
And I
I'm
think you would
glad.
like the White Book.
Probably. It sounded really interesting.
I think if I have any of it marked, there's one in particular about a white door where she moves into an apartment and her door's painted white. And she's putting into perspective how many people have touched this white door, how many people have lived this life with this white door being saturated in its presence. And
Interesting.
just the way that you think about the way that she thinks about, oh, here it is. I don't know. It was an apartment, and she talks about how she goes back to this one apartment that she no longer lived in, but it's still the same fucking white door. And about how it stays consistent and constant through eternity, but everything changes around it. Its atmosphere completely and utterly changes around it, depending on who lives in that house, but it still remains true. Ever since then, I'm like, well, doors. Who would have thought?
That's a wild concept. I
Right?
think so. This is only related based off of that specific thought process. There are things that are going to be around forever and that are constant,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing truly lasts forever. But
Right.
I watched a documentary when I was a kid with my parents about what if humans just disappeared one day completely. There was no nuclear thing or anything, it just poofed. And it dawned on me that all of these high-rise buildings that we have, all of these cars, all of these material things are just going to exist past us.
Mm.
Las Vegas we'll still have electricity and everything's gonna run, it all runs on timers.
Yeah.
There's a mussel that lives in the waters by the Hoover Dam that grow in the pipes. Las Vegas will be the last city in the United States to have power because
Wow.
of the Hoover Dam, and it will only shut down when the clams block the exhaust vents so bad that it overheats and the system shuts down.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's probably different now that we have solar panels and stuff,
Hmm.
but solar have a lifespan.
Hmm.
The Hoover also has a lifespan, but concrete's gonna outlast solar panels by a hot minute.
Hmm.
And it's
If you want to like experience that the best way that you can, that whole concept, um, Horizon Zero,
that's a game, right?
yeah, and Forbidden actually has Vegas as one of its main storylines. But basically we have these robot animals to help harvest the planet and help grow seeds and it to make everything better in attempts to improve the world, and a virus takes place and they turn evil and they start killing
Oh,
us and start harvesting parts of the planet that's literally destroying the planet.
Jesus.
Yeah, and the only way to save the planet is to reset it, which
Okay.
is basically what you said. So they zero dawn, and what it is to reset the planet. And humans will rise again, be created again, the planet will reset, um, and life move on. But we fucked it up, so we have to go with it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole story is Aloy Lee, Aloy Lee, sorry, my kid calls her. Aloy um is up the reset. She's sorry, Aldrin calls her Aloy Lee. So we just call Aloy Lee now. But Aloy is a of like she's connected to the old world
Okay.
through genealogy. So she kind of goes unraveling what really happened, what Dawn really was, what happened. But
Mm.
she's traveling through cities and parts of the world that has been completely taken over by nature, but still standing. It's really, especially in Forbidden West, because it takes place on the West Coast of the United States. So you're going through Utah, Nevada, California, like ends
Oh,
up the
wow.
same. Yeah, and you can track where you are. So you can see certain nature's taken over everything, of course, but certain things like the Golden Gate Bridge is so iconic that you can literally stop your game in a certain spot and Google Lens it and it'll pull up the real photo.
Oh, that's
That's
so cool.
how accurate it is. Vegas, you know exactly what casino you're in. You can see like the Eiffel Tower and there. You can, but it's like just the tips of it because it's covered in sand. And
Yep.
so you're going underground to do all this crazy ass shit. But it's so cool, and I really feel like Horizon Zero Dawn was great and still my favorite. But Forbidden West, which is the second video game, they really dug deep into making sure that this was an immersive experience. Like if what you actually did happened, this is what we would really see. And it's
That
so cool.
that sounds really cool. I
It,
feel like that's
above
something that
it.
I'd want to play VR.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know if I feel like there's a new game coming out and I feel like some of it might be VR. I'm not sure though. Um, I'm partial, like the day I picked up playing this game, like I watched Tom play it for months. The
Hmm.
day I picked up playing this game, I had had a miscarriage and I knew, and I was waiting for the doctor to call and confirm it. And it was the only thing that could keep my mind off of it. So like
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn life. And then now Aldrin's a little bit like it's all he plays. He just goes through and beats up dinosaurs, robot dinosaurs.
Aw.
It's so cute, but he's so good at it too. But it's a really immersive. It's a RPG. Um, it's stunning, and I think Aloy is like my favorite human being of all times. Like she's really good, and you really want to like keep following her and on her and learning about her and her little journey.
I will have to see if it's on Game Pass for the Xbox. And then if not, I will look at buying it. Um, it sounds good.
Mhm.
And we've talked a couple of times now, and I'm looking at pictures for it, and the art looks great.
Yeah, it really
And
is.
I think I could get into this.
I think you like it, really get into
Yeah.
it. I think it's a lot of fun. Um,
I've started streaming again. I've done one stream. Um, and this would be a good one to play on stream too.
mhm. Yeah, I would watch. I'm so into the game that I've watched a lot of speedruns.
Oh, I wouldn't be speed running it.
Oh,
I'd
I know,
probably
I
be playing it
know.
for.
Yeah, no, no, no. I like one of my best friends that lives out here. Like she's the only other person I know that plays it as well. And so like there's been a couple that we'll hang out and we'll be like, hey, like let's start the game in this mode and let's keep in touch and find out how far we get.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But in all fairness, you don't want to commit to a really long game. There is Lego Horizon and it's super fun. And it's co-op.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you guys can play together if you want.
That's good
It's
to
cute.
know.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It like honestly, like Aldrin and I play it. It's cute.
Did not mean to do that. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. It includes, I don't know what the fuck any of this means. It's only $50.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Includes the expansion too, so
Yeah. Yeah. No, we just got Final Fantasy 14.
that's the one that Florence and the Machine did a lot of music for.
I couldn't tell you, but I believe you.
Is that
Um,
is that where all the boys drive around in the car?
no, Final Fantasy 14 is a fantasy. That's such a stupid thing for me to say. It's a like meets space game, and it's online, and you do a bunch of little quests and.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's not I was thinking of God, I'm yelling at the computer because I can never do them right.
It's okay. Blake was literally just trying or about to write me a note. He's sitting right next to me. Oh, he's writing the note now.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a moment.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so what you're talking about, that's like the one guy and the girl. What's the note say?
I It's an MMO,
Oh, okay.
whatever that means. He's told me 10 times and I don't know. So, it's fine. Yeah, so that's all. We're still playing Stardew. I think I can commit to Horizon Zero Dawn,
Yeah.
or at
It's
least give it a shot.
it's chill, it's casual, like I don't know, I feel like Final Fantasy there's a push to like continuously hop on and over again just to
Yeah.
do the grind of everything. But Horizon, like you can get outside a story and not do like the main story and you're in the wilderness by yourself.
Oh, that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, you can like walk the grain or just take a trip in the forest or climb a mountain and just watch the sunset. And the second one you can fly, like you have like a glider that you can like glide through half the game.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Plus you're beating up robots.
What better way to spend your time?
Right, right. Tom gets frustrated and Aldrin gets frustrated because like I've I know like of the like machines, like a watcher and stuff like that, but like a T-Rex. So he'll like beat up a Thunderdrum and be like, "Is that the T-Rex?" She's like, "No, mommy." So I never learned like pterodactyls are like three pterodactyl styles. They're just kind of like, "Is that the big one or the small one?" Learn the names, mom.
That. I I've got to find a way to rage bait Blake with a video game just for funsies.
Oh, I've gotten really good at doing that with Final Fantasy because anytime Tom talks about Final Fantasy, I was like, "Is that the one with butts in it?" Like I know. Butts is in what, like six or something like that. He'll talk about like 15, 16. I was like, is that the one with butts in it? Oh, that's the one
I
with butts in it.
I'm gonna get the nastiest side eye here in a second.
Ha!
Frequently, and this is a genuine accident, but I get Final Kingdom Hearts mixed up all the time. And so I'll be talking about Final Fantasy.
And then you'll just be mentioning Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, or a Kingdom Hearts.
I tried to play Kingdom Hearts one time because I had a friend that's like, her name's Morgan. I love her to death. Super sweet. Morgan, I love you if you're watching this. I could not get into that game. I was just like, this is kind of annoying.
I like watching Blake play.
Hmm.
I don't know that I could get into Kingdom Hearts myself.
Yeah.
But Blake has done, I think, all of them. No, he's played two of them. I keep looking at him for cues. Um, he's played two of them. I thought you played all of them, not in front of me.
I've played all of them, but not with you.
That's,
I played them.
yeah, he's played them all. He likes Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But
I sent Blake a video on
Peyton
your
sent you
phone.
a video.
I don't know if he's seen it or not. Mega 64 is great though. But
Am I supposed to understand what that means?
Mega 64 is a YouTube group that does oh my God, I'm sounding so nerdy. Tom, I love you. Nice guys. We've met him before, but they do gaming type of shit.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the type of shit actually, to be honest with you. But the video that I sent him, they actually worked with the guy that created Final Fantasy.
Oh,
And he created Final Fantasy for it to be a one-off so that he could get out of the company so that he could start his rapping career. But then Final Fantasy was so good that as it was in his contract, as long as it's successful, we can keep having you make more. And so it's about like he got with Megas did like a little skit about his journey of doing like why he come up with such names and why it's called Final Fantasy, but it's different stories and different people and different groups and stuff like that, and
mm-hmm.
why the name Butts comes up. Like it's and he does what he do it. It's so funny, but it's the real creator of that. I think I share that video off YouTube more than any other video on YouTube. I'm always like Final Fantasy. Okay, let me see this video.
Yeah,
So.
I don't. Blake is playing Forza, which is the game, and he's sitting up like that. So I'm sure he'll do the video later.
Yeah.
But I'm staring at him now. Where did you send it to him?
I'll send it to you
Oh,
for
got
him.
it.
Yeah, so
I
it's in text
understand.
messages.
She sent it to me for you, so I will show you later. On that note,
Good way to end the night.
I think so. I think games definitely relates to poetry.
Kinda, yeah.
It's art.
It's all the same
Anyways.
same stuff. But this was lovely. Thank you for sharing. I will definitely be putting that on my to be read list.
Wonderful. I am glad this is the first episode that we've done, so hopefully next one we have a better feel for things, but I hope everybody enjoyed.
Yeah.
If you read them, let us know how you feel in the comments.
Mhm.
Hit all the buttons, like, share, subscribe, follow. Show us some on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for everything and bye fuckers.
Peace out.
What the fuck were we thinking?